Welcome back, everyone, to the Unconnoisseur podcast. This week, we are deviating somewhat from our normal routine of covering full albums. It is my pleasure and privilege to present to you and highlight my favorite 10 drummers, plus one. I'm going to have honorable mention for a special drummer in my life. So let's get started at number 10.
Before you do,
Yeah.
I just love the fact that we threw you under the bus to kick off these top tens.
Yeah, I'm glad you get to go first.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's good.
Well,
good
you
luck.
know, you guys throw me under the bus with old man new music all the time.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
you know,
Well, and Drew, he knocks it out of the park every week. So this
Every
will not
single
be
week.
this will not be hard for him.
what are you going to do? What I've done, I have looked at other lists of drummers to familiarize myself with the wide range over the many years of drummers who have had an impact in the world of jazz and jazz music. And it was very tough. You guys know from your own experience of trying to come up with only 10 musicians to cover in this period of time. So at number 10, I chose Elvin Jones. Elvin Jones, in 1995, got the Modern Drummer Hall of Fame Award. He's on Rolling Stones. Elvin is ranked number 23 out of 100, which puts him, to me, very high. I also saw a website called the Digital Drummer's Door, and he was recognized as number 20. So for me to put him at 10, it was difficult to put him there. His genre was post-bop, swing, and modern jazz era music. He's worked with Coltrane. He had his own group called the Elvin Jones Jazz Machine, which anybody who listens to it would appreciate it. He's worked with Billy Mitchell, Wardell Gray, Miles, and who hasn't worked with Miles? In my list, I think almost everybody would see Miles in the list. Mingus, Sonny Rollins, where he played a night at the Village Vanguard, rocked the house. He rocks the house. Labels that he's worked for, I found at least two, Blue Note and Ninja. And there may likely have been many more, but I didn't research that deeply. Elvin is described as polyrhythmic. He had a heavy sound, and he played with his own style. Someone recognized him as one of the most influential drummers in the history of jazz. Now, that's something that's going to be repeated a few times, okay, as one of the most influential, one of the world's greatest. Life magazine recognized him as the world's greatest rhythmic drummer, and he had a free-flowing style. The man taught music and the history of music, which to me is pretty impressive. He also did free concerts in prisons, and he would go into prisons and just play for hours for the inmates, which I think is very impressive. In 2001, he was awarded an honorary doctorate of music by the Berklee College of Music. Impressive. Some of the albums that he's worked on or highlight that I will: Love Supreme, where he did My Favorite Things; Blue Moons with Mingus; Putting It Together. And I think there's a track there called the ultimate. And that's my number 10, Elvin Jones. Number 9, I have Philly Joe Jones, who his style was hard bebop, and he worked with none other than Miles. He worked with Coltrane and many other artists and musicians. He was awarded, or he had 2 nominations for Grammys, though I don't have indication that he won any. Miles quoted as Philly Joe Jones was his favorite drummer. Can you imagine that? Miles recognizing that. Bill Evans said was his all-time favorite drummers. And here I am recognizing him at number 9. I mean, come on, what's wrong with me? He's described as playing with soul, with fire, and he was energetic, and he inspired others. He had perfect equilibrium of discipline and daring. So he was, somebody else said, a master of every aspect of drum percussions, a pioneer in leaving space and interacting with soloists. So this is number 9, Philly Joe Jones. So let me go to number 8.
Hey, before you go to number 8, I want to hit time out. You've indicated a couple of albums, or an album and something of note that I think we listeners may want to understand. That, and I have it on your slideshow, by the way.
What you're talking about is Blues for Dracula, and Philly Joe Jones played with Miles on Miles's quintet. Okay?
Perfect.
So let me move to number 8. I find Kenny Clarke on number 8. His style was innovator of bebop. And that's what I found. This man also worked with Miles. He worked with Roy Eldridge. Dizzy, he played, so I think maybe he was with, what's that guy's name? Count? No, that was somebody else.
Oh,
I don't like you. I love
He was-
you.
He was awarded a National Endowment for the Arts in 1983. He had a Duke Fellowship from Yale University. Downbeat recognized him as a Hall of Fame in 1988, and he had a Grammy nomination in 1972. He's described as playing the cymbal and the bass in a very light manner. He was quietly persuasive. He had charming rudimental touches and so many other things. Elegant, subtle, and musical. He pioneered the use of the ride cymbal to keep time rather than the hi-hat. He did what he called dropping bombs with the use of the bass drum, which had not been done before. Albums that I recommend: Our Man in Paris. He did that with Dexter Gordon. And he also did Fancy Boland Big Band. And one of the pieces in that is All Smiles. I'm telling you, that is a very, very good album. So let's move to number 7. Moving right along. Number 7, Mr. Max Roach. Here's a man that played bebop, hard bop. He worked with Clifford Brown, Coleman Hawkins, Dizzy. You like Charlie Parker, don't you? And Miles, Duke, Monk. He also did some work with Abbey Lincoln. And here we got Mingus, Stan Getz, and Booker Little, names that are highly recognized. Max played crisp. He had a military style of precision and compositional flair. He pioneered the frantic, complex rhythms of bebop. He was awarded Downbeat Hall of Fame in 1980 and the Modern Drum Hall of Fame in 1980 and 1992. In 1970, he founded the percussion ensemble M Boom. At 18, he began with Duke's Orchestra. Here's a guy that I suggest you listen to.
And I want to thank you for this list. For some reason, I didn't ever look at the Beehive.
Oh, yeah.
Live at the Beehive with Clifford Brown and Max Roach. So because
Live at
of
the
your
Beehive.
list, I got to hear an album that I had somehow overlooked.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think you'll like it. Others will too. I hope they go and listen to that. Are we ready for number 6? Let's go to number 6 on my list. Number 6 is Roy Haynes. And again, it was difficult to bring these guys together. He had a nickname, Snap Crackle. And this man played for 8 decades. Does that not blow your mind? Played for 8 decades. He played swing, bebop, jazz fusion, even avant-garde. And so he grew through those 8 decades. In 2010, he was awarded the Grammy Lifetime Achievement. That's just one of the awards that he was given. He was influenced by Papa Joe Jones, Lester Young, and Charlie Parker. He played along with Lester Young, Parker, Bud Powell, and Stan Getz, and several others that you want to check out. His labels were Mainstream, Galaxy, and other labels. Out of the Afternoon is a album I'd recommend you listen to, and it's on the Impulse label, and there's several tracks that just are really good. That's my number 6. It should be no surprise, but I put Mr. Art Blakey at number 5. Could be surprised. I could have placed him elsewhere, but he played bebop and hard bop in the 50s. He had a number of awards, Downbeat Jazz Hall of Fame, Modern Drummers Hall of Fame, Grammy Hall of Fame, Grammy Lifetime Achievement in 2005. He played along with Monk, with Parker, with Dizzy, with Miles. Okay, who didn't Miles play with? You know, this man is all over. His moods and themes were boisterous, playful, intense, and passionate, with a great deal of sophistication. And the word was visceral. He played from his whole body. Here's a man that was influenced by somebody a name that you might recognize as Gene Krupa, and Roy Haynes. And that's all I'll say about that. But he was a member of the Jazz Messengers for 35 years, folks. 35 years he played with the Jazz Messengers. And he had 167 young jazz musicians play with him. That's phenomenal.
We've said it in the past. If you graduated from Art Blakey School and you came out of the Jazz Messengers, you could write your own ticket. That's how good and much of an influence he was.
Yeah. Somebody said he played like a preacher hitting the pulpit. And I love that description. That is so right on. And that's what you'll hear when you get connected with with Art. Okay. Number 4. Mr. Jack DeJohnette. I could go on and on and on, but I'm already over time. He was also a pianist, and he studied classical piano. He was a composer, and his style was rhythm and blues, hard bop, avant-garde. He played some rock and roll, jazz, and world music. He played with a match grip. A lot of these other musicians play with a traditional grip. He worked with Charles Lloyd, Freddie Hubbard, Bill Evans, Alice Coltrane, our man Miles, and Keith Jarrett as well. And he played with Keith Jarrett for, I think it says 40 years.
Yeah.
That's lifetime. In 2007, he was awarded the Modern Drum Hall of Fame. He had two Grammys and 6 nominations. His albums, more than 35 under his own name, and played with Charles Lloyd in Europe. Charles Lloyd in Europe is the name of the album. He played with Bitches Brew with Miles, Sound Travels. Yeah, I said it. You heard it. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready for
I don't know. After these first 7, I can't imagine where you're going in the top 3.
I can't either. These got to be banging.
I know, right?
If the first 7, 10 through 4 have been this big, who is next? No pressure, but I bet we're looking at some real bangers, Matt.
Yes, we are, brothers. Yes, we are. Number 3, we got Tony Williams. And it's not a surprise. I mean, he had to be there. He was 51 years old when he died of a heart attack following a surgery. But I also saw something that he played 50 years and he was a pianist as well. He was recognized as the first fusion drummer. His style then was jazz fusion, post-bop, opera, blues, rhythm and blues, and classical and progressive jazz. He worked with Miles. With the second great quintet. He worked with Shorter, Herbie, and Jaco. He worked with Jaco as well. I already mentioned that he was recognized for several awards, the Modern Drum Hall of Fame, and several others. Albums that you might want to listen to would be The Story of Neptune and the album The Best of Tony Williams, a tribute to Miles, and another album, The Pride of Lions and Once in a Lifetime. You can hear people describe him as the best drummer in the world, which it's not surprising. Miles said he was the center that the group sound revolved around. So Miles had the utmost of respect for this man. Are we ready for number 3?
2.
Number
Unless
2.
you got a 3.5. We're ready for number 2.
Number 2.
After Tony, who can be better after those 3 and 4, let alone we got to go to 1 and 2?
Let's go to Mr. Buddy Rich. This man blows me away. As a child, his parents were vaudevillians. And he, at 2 years old, he was on stage doing tap dancing. In fact, let's see, there's something here that they described as the child tap dancer or something like that. So he was on stage for his entire life, and he worked with Benny Bergen, Artie Shaw, Tommy Dorsey. He worked with a big band called the leader was called Count Basie. Yeah, several others.
I love you.
Many others.
I gotta go play a low G.
Including Louis Armstrong. I mean, come on. This man was all over the place. In '86, he was awarded the Progressive Art School Hall of Fame for band leader and drum set player. At Rolling Stones saw him as a number 15 out of 100. A reader's poll in 2011 recognized him at number 16. So the man is up there with his playing. He did some work with some songs with West Side Story, and you got to listen to Mercy, 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 the finest all around recording. Mercy. I listened to that today, and I was all over it. That album was just kicking. That's about what I'll say. I got a whole lot more to say about Mr. Buddy Rich, and I think it's probably not a surprise that he's at least number 2. For me, number 1, I got to go with my man Gene Krupa. And part of the reason I do that is because he's been around a long, long time. And his genre, his style was Chicago style jazz. He played swing, big band, Dixieland, and bebop. That man was all over the drum set. He was everywhere on the drum set. There wasn't anything he couldn't do with sticks in his hand, and he was a performer of the drums. He worked with Benny Goodman, obviously, the big band. Also, a name you might recognize, he worked with a man by the name of Bix. What's his name? Bix who?
Bix Beiderbecke. Beiderbecke.
Yeah. So Tommy Dorsey, the one name I didn't see, that other band that I didn't see him play with. I won't mention that name, Drew. In 1978, he was inducted as the first drummer into Modern Drum Hall of Fame. The first, which is so impressive. In 1937, his recording of Sing, Sing, Sing with Benny Goodman was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1982. So 37 was played. It was inducted in 1982. Check out albums, the Gene Krupa Quartet Live, 1966, and Big Noise from Winnetka, Gene Krupa at the London House in 1959. I wish I could go on and on and on, but he was one of the most influential drummers in the history of popular music. So he was the founding father of modern drum playing. So again, the history, I can't say enough about Gene Krupa. Just go check Gene. You have, I'm sure, all of our followers have recognized the name Gene Krupa. I hope they can appreciate how the impact that Gene Krupa has made on me.
Yeah.
Thus, here we are at the end of my list. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you taking the time to track with me. And
you do have one honorable mention, though, don't you?
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that because I do not want to leave the honorable mention out. It's one of my favorite, who's not made the list yet. That is the top 100, but she's working on it. There will be a time when you'll see Lady D, Delaney Rice, on a list recognized as one of the top influential or top drummers in the history of drumming. Delaney Rice, Lady D. And I think, Drew, you have a short clip that you'll show highlighting my granddaughter, Drew, your niece, Matt, your daughter. So hats off to Lady D. Thank you very much.
Let's roll that clip.
Yeah.
Man, that was a clip and a half right there. Thanks, Lady D, for sending that over.
She'll be next on the list, right behind Neil Peart.
Definitely.
Top 10 most influential drummers.
Definitely.
He's number one. Lady D will be number two.
Yep. Folks, followers, stay tuned for our next episode where Mr. Drew, our producer, will present his top 10 tenor sax players. His top 10. I'm really eager, Drew, for you to follow that up and give us your top 10 alto sax players. Thank you.
Tenor
Tenor.
sax.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I'm looking forward to that top 10 too, because that means I'll have it finalized.
And you're the list gatekeeper. So I showed you my list. Dad showed you his list. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to finally hearing your list
And
there.
I look forward to hearing mine too.
Yeah.
Until next episode, thank y'all.
Yep.